Oda Trupja Chuzuku Kuni there, Mar Lobalam Negamnala, any Ko Sonam Sonam Gitsodan, Ishikitso Nilatani, to Ware, Oda Chanjuki Semgizimbe, Gawa Kandechima, Lunga Isum Gawa Kandechima, the Zuku Trupji you, Sonam Gitsos in the Chagore, Sony to be Lue, any Zimbe Gawa Kandechivina, the any Tapagi Chugutupje. Or that the Yunduguare, the Indugalata, Chick Mazon Sonam Sawade, any Senzam Zugula, Senzambosum Chusangi, Pechazambo Geju, what a tickety to Jegulandugores. Or that Sony to Beltave Zimbe and Pay Yamin Kandechivina, ticket Tamje, Chobak Kandechivina, Tamje, any number times it can be easy to jet up. Chugu to take water, or the two chugu to get water into Gala, that indicate Gawatu weather, Nechambo Chabares, Sunguares.
Just as Nagarjuna mentioned this verse by creating this virtuous activity and leading to accumulations of positive merits, so on and so forth. And here, Nagarjuna talks about accumulations of positive merits and accumulations of wisdom. And these two are something that needs to be accomplished to attain ultimate objective of Buddhahood. And whatever positive activities that is created out of altruistic minded bodhicitta, that eventually lead to attaining of the form Buddha. And whatever accumulations that we create through or by wisdom, especially wisdom realizing emptiness, that eventually leads to attaining of truth body or Dharmakaya, truth body of Buddha. So under the form body comes the attaining of those 32 major sign and 80 minor signs of enlightened being, and whatever positive activities that we created out of this understanding of emptiness or wisdom realizing emptiness, that becomes a cause of attaining truth body of Buddha. So therefore, it is crucial, to engage in accumulating both of these merits.
What the Nigala, Gawa Kandijina, Tapsi, Yamandel one is Chawade, Nechambuchaware. Tichabaina, any Minibinyande, any be, Chuzukuni to Cheki, Yula, Gawachabade, Tigulan Rotuores, the Indigala, Yamatawach Chawade. Nechambo Yimbada, Dorange Sungore, Tap that away, Sheriff Chinwa, Sheriff that away, Tamis Chinwa was a Sundugala, Co, Tapsi Yatal Chevaina, a Gopum Sopoji, Jugumeva Takarang, Dorangi, Junden Rangi Sunan, Tuyong to us.
So here, important thing is whatever positive activities that we create in such a way that it has a combination of both method and wisdom aspect. So with that combination, as said before, one can attain, truth and form body of enlightenment. And with that kind of positive activities created, including both method and wisdom aspect, that becomes a complete course of the enlightenment. And in fact, Buddha himself mentioned in his sutra, in his own teachings, that method, devoid of wisdom is a bondage, or it's incomplete. As well as, wisdom without method is also kind of incomplete.
Nala subject do sustam go as ta chopa yume pa ko ban ze barshamba se de da ko ba chujo zonjina shamye de tangpo chi eni pe kujab tan dem bachene shamye yome pa se de kuban zebar shamye se de ta pe kandiji na ning jibo chi ko waya de tisung gore yo de la yu yo de kunung ge yo ni re wada de shibuji ne chenbu cha de yore ngara zo ga kandiji na ngara zo danjing gi jamang de yo ti ngala kunung fi tabuji miyo ya pe 당분 다때 단진 공부 투천부 뉴바천부여 인상 수천부여 인상 대왕기 아니 지진 최계단 된줘야 돼 년가요래 위 굴릉부 요새야 돼 시우진 내천보래 최순로만 로데 아니 굴릉 넘버 다 맞라 라리 봐요래 아니 대바집이 최지 간 세지 최대니 진인제 최대 대바집이 최이나야 랑 코네톤둘라 이니친디 너네 코네톤도 침바이나 아니 최대 대바춤이 최수루고 말해 생인 제야데 대바춤이 이나양 제 주지 이나양 굴론 왕게 에네베 센디 그 라케용도가라 기부춤이 저거리안에 센디 에 젬바인디 에네베 최대 배 최수 좀만로 니저요래 어떻게 인도가라 굴론데 남다 제가데 아니 지tin 취기다 만들었던 장주기 셈기 짐바지 장주기 셈기 짐비 취진 로알 장주기 셈싱인데 유티자와 니진데 니지 에배살 때베고네 니제네 베이 미는 부르도 텀베고네 장주기 셈지 이 주마 춘지 살다베이나 디다 슈지 취다 오니 장주기 셈기 짐비 취세니다 대바침이 절 누구래스 어떻게 인도가라 그런데 시우지 꽤 전부 잡아래스
We are going through this short text, the Guru Yoga meditation, 100 deities of joyful realm or land of joy, and going through six limb prayer or practice. We went through invocation, requesting the Guru to have stable life, and prostration, fourth offering. And offering, under the offering comes, that offering must be without any tainted motivation. The Tibetan word is yo, which is kind of unstraightened, but this has a this has a meaning of kind of twofold meaning under that. First one is straight or honest in terms of things that you are offering. And second one is in terms of motivation, so it's kind of both subjective as well as objective, and pure, in what you're offering, pure in your heart, and also offering set up on the altar in a such way that it looks very pleasing and beautiful. When you make simple offerings such as offering of water bowl, and intention, because there's a very high likelihood or risk for ordinary people being so much kind of influence under a self-cherishing thought, or so much with the eight mundane features or qualifications. Intention could easily become negative, especially when offering. So especially in the practice of greater vehicle Mahayana, whether your practice becomes a Mahayana practice or not, it depends on your intention. Although whatever you are doing is Mahayana's practice, but without proper intention, it doesn't become Mahayana's practice. And therefore, making offering out of self-cherishing thought, simply for the sake of this livelihood or this lifetime, those kind of intention makes your offering non-Mahayana practices. And therefore, what is needed in order to become an offering, of the Mahayana offering or greater vehicle offering, if possible, intention should be, intention of altruistic mind, bodhicitta. And the root of bodhicitta, altruistic mind, as you know, is compassionate thought. So therefore, with very kind of strong intention of compassionate thought, when you make offering, that becomes truly an offering of a greater vehicle.
와다 디 유디가라 군론데 딱 계속 간지지나 군론 남다지 장주기 생기는 바시고 도시 유였다다 저번 분야 유디 그지 시고 그래 유요 시디가라 아니 로초도 말해 버지고 왔다 담년다 간지 저번 분야 제데 아니 로초 초와다 로초 나 많이 와시 어다배 즉 가르쳐 그래 랑 아니 덴지 중앙이나 아니 저번 부대에 세된 오늘 최남다 로도 만들었는데 세나다 데바이나다 담년다다 데바이나다 어떤 덴지 중나 이 저번 부대 유대 간데지나 저번 부대는 두고 말해 덴디가라 로총하다 만들어지 인지미지고 거래 어떤 데죠 세보지 로소도 세보다는 남들라 찬나나 단다 디 저의 추두 갑도텔라 어떤 디도 저바데서 배 이번도 요레스 엔도 줄어다한테 펜도용 그레스
To make your practice pure, as said before, it's very important to have good intention, and offering, what you are offering in terms of where your offering comes from, possessions or whatever you're offering. Those shouldn't be coming from what we call 5 wrong livelihood. And when making offer, it shouldn't be tainted by such as, with the intention of gaining fame, respect. It shouldn't have any, sense of stinginess. And these are all, if you want to look more detail, you can look at the book that we studied before, Liberation in the Palm of Your Hand, under the section where text deals with 6 preparatory practices, and under that you'll find a detailed explanation of offerings.
아니 어다 페나 로소 나네 리지주나 녜비녜바 들어왔는데 어다 딘더지나 페나 쳬바불리였던 달라 미젠지라 내니 캐나 테이크아데 시보 펜보 좀 빼야부 좀 선던던더지네 더둥대가라 빼샤 우군둔던더지 지셰네 간지 성부 말라베지 꼬르지 락파 고유 지단에 라네 애니 디 쳬바불리나 데 쳬바데 그 로즈 군농포 남다메 인정 로즈 초아차바레 어다 되게 리데 애니 녜비녜바 소와다 다 되게 애니 베 턱긴절 와 소바다 되게 균인 리거 말레스 어다 애니 베 권적 고르초발라 소바다 되게 애니 주비 제수 집에이나 마이 받침 말레스 송고아레스.
So one should be careful in kind of what offering you are making. As said before, it shouldn't be offering that comes from wrong livelihood. Under that, one of which is with kind of negative thought or intention, and then kind of trying to sort of get something from other people, and you are kind of demanding, you are asking, and not in a kind of ordinary way, but in a very kind of indirectly saying that, oh, what you gave last me was really helpful and good, and it was so. The way you express your expression is such a way that although you are not seems to be asking, but you are really kind of asking for it. So that becomes unstraightened. It's kind of not honest way of making your entity for offering. So the intention is not right. You want to get something from other people so that you can make an offer, and whatever kind of the offering that comes from negative intention or negative ways, that is not appropriate for offering.
어떤 니비니바 들어왔으면 손대지나 아니 파 냠바 춘춘지다 수치보 거야 기탑식 진지지기도 와 어떻게 배배 로스는 누구 알아요? 이 세번은 되는 세부도 아니 배 수치로단 배야 보용사래스.
And that becomes a wrong livelihood in a sense that you give kind of small present to other person, but in your heart, what you are expecting is you are expecting bigger, more better gift in return. So that kind of intensity, object attaining from that kind of method is not considered as appropriate and pure object for offering. Again, you can look more detail in the book that we said before, Liberation in the Palm of Your Hand.
너르두나 첩밥불에 유대 오네 유피다보랑 게 가상 딩상이 되게 이 굴놈 냠바다 만데보고네 다 유지 두베지나 디첩에서 불리나 다 오네 피다보 차고 와레스.
So in brief, offering that you do or you make, that entity or that thing, must come from pure kind of origin, not kind of negative or harmful or destructive.
어다 첩밥 물릴되네 유모가래 오네 샤베 갈라 바기 토용거래 다 갈단하게 손지나 갈단하게 이름 소제네 잠바 시선 잠만만 소신 안신제네 아니 도스진 연구하래 같이 초숨 상기 겹숨 근디 용어를 때니 거다 도스진 불고 와레스 아니 겹숨 다때서 오네 샤베 갈라 도스 토용 데시겐 유나이트 그레스.
And to whom you are making this offering, it will come, later in this short text. And of course, here we are talking about the practice of 100 deities of joyful realm, and in that image of assembly tree, you know who you are making offering to, the center figure and all lineages of the masters, and obviously, three object of refuge.
아니 저바되게 참 차네 아니 강가 제 차네 아니 홍숭이 징길람나 아니 지 징길랍지게 nga데 딜라요 말에 와다 홍숭데 지다네 후숭 야와 탐지게 후숭도 증거래 수수좀 되겐 와다 디니가라 다 홍숭데게 마 삼로지 따나 홍데마 추베제나 추바 간데지 불리나다 소소 자야 통야 간이나 딱지스 지둥기 붙기 쳐봐이나다 노수진이 녀저선데 샴데 노수진 쳐봐이나다 안되지야 불리나 훈데 마자네 룽제 루스투근에 룽제 디에네 쳐베제던 데네 에니베 타말웨 나쟁기 카동엔 바다 띵엔 바다 디게든 장송 삼데 삼로 땅고 와레스.
And after setting offering on the altar, practitioners conclude with reciting this very common mantra, Om Ahum, as a kind of blessing your offering or transforming your offering. And Om Ahum, these three syllables also represents body, speech, and mind of enlightened being. And from this syllable, the third one, Hung, after setting up, offering on the altar, when you recite this Hum, you visualize, kind of Hung syllable falling into whatever that you are offering, fruits, water, and then kind of you visualize Hung, this Hung transforming all of your offering into very kind of pure state, not tainted by ordinary mundane kind of things that we enjoy, ordinary people. So you visualize kind of complete transformation of ordinary offering into something kind of pure celestial kind of entities.
어다 아데 주베제드나 마 룽지 아니 주베제던 제제니 제니 아니 루시 모드교 루시 교네 로데 카디 아니 도데 야자 캄바제 작hol스나 직도염 된다 캄바존이 작도 말세존이 오다 텐디징 교송사 니바데 테나로 도유난다 루고유난다 유야기 니바 텐디질레 교송사네 삼르테 당고와레스.
And when you recite this you visualize again kind of falling and dissolving with the object that you are offering, and then you visualize turning your offering into the form of nectar, and then more specifically taste, a little kind of bitter taste, color into if you boil tea leaves, when you boil too long, you can see that kind of dark brownish color. And the ability or power of that nectar is such that whatever thing that you throw in that liquid, whether it's rocks or metal, everything kind of melted.
오다 옴데 아니 주베 제나마 룽제 때던 제제 아니 직 옴기 답에 망부 패송 망부 펠리하게 된디기 삼당고 가레스 망부 펠리야데 아니 뇌디니 출로를 룽웨까지 말해 다 이시버튼 가수지 망부지 처베이나 균인 자에메바 제바메바질라 삼당고 가레 거다 가도데 가르부지 아니 두지카보 아니 뉴바타기 때데 지부지가 로데 알모레 어떤디 삼당고 가레스 숭도 두스제나다고 직 류기 바기 개발왕기 아니 직 간진 불야 제데 두스치 불리나 이시바테게티 쳇두고 아래 오다 두스치네 랑기 류기 쪼나 두스 공바제나 고 손음 체사고 아레스.
And Om, when you recite Om, that has an impact of, again, Om kind of is falling and dissolving with the object that you are offering. And it has an impact of multiplying, and increasing what you are offering. Increasing here doesn't kind of mean overflowing from, container, but it means the more kind of wisdom enlightened body enjoys it, the more it kind of produces. So it's kind of unending production of your offering through visualization, and you visualize color, white color, and then turning a taste into sweet. So these are some kind of visualizations that you do at the end of making offering. And with that kind of visualization, although regardless of whatever you are offering, but through the power of your intention, your visualization, you can make a small offering the cause of great and immense positive merits. and with that kind of visualization, the entity that you offer also becomes considered as something that can be enjoyable by whomever that you are offering.
오다 두스레 다 맞아 취재 부도 취재 때 시부지서는 전부 사고 와래 지난 가서 이제 내 땅부버지나 유전지 신이 풀려라 스나키로 왔다 스나용으로 와 취재 풀려라 스나용으로 와 대난에 간슈존데지나 추인라 옐덴즈데 시부지 디스무도 와 말하니 쿠누라마른 뭐지 아니 배 도제는 조에 갑라 응 쿠누와래 쿠누와 인데가라 쿠누와테서 당아서 해만리기라 튕긴chen 되네 뭐야 말때디 때인데가라 두스치네 배 유레 타마치네네 두스치네 살도 니비는 분는데 그랬으데 에 군을라마르 진잘은 꾸르나도 와 어떤 때인데가라 추생데 시부지 에 선남매베고네 아니 샘제 망부촌이 자야돼 출라더니 자고래 추면아 샘진생인데 네투비야 메레 딘데 임베차니 주주드페 파기 랍침비 손음시 사고래 아니 고이 저라유메 가자요 말 강가 여여 차디어 딘디깔라 빼그 윤도 주주 빌리하게 디 술지 던투나 야버레스.
offering of water in water bowl that you see probably most commonly in Buddhist tradition is very effective, very convenient, especially for beginners. For beginners, it would be, Geshe-la is using himself as an example, it would be a little hard, and there might be a sense of stinginess if you kind of, try to find out something other than water, sort of unassembling other things or important precious things. That might be a little difficult, But offering of water is very, especially in the tradition, in the Himalayan regions where water, comes from snow mountains, pure, clean, and there's a consideration of those kind of water as 8 different qualifications. And one of the great practitioners, Kunu Lama Rinpoche, Kunu is a small area between Tibet and India, northern India, and he one time he kind of sent a message that if you cannot afford anything, just offer water or river coming from Snow Mountain with your palm, 7 times, and that becomes the offering. And of course, water itself is, a thing that we human survive. And offering water doesn't matter what financial condition you are. Everybody can, do it. And so there's, many kind of different reason that offering water has a great impact in accumulations of positive merits. So for your own kind of practice, it would be helpful if you make, water offering a part of your practices.
我的主人啦，也是这个啦，当哇、西路啊、江巴、谁手多啊？通了多了米呢吧，通了丁巴了米呢吧，地米卡哇，我的真的几原来也是就都是，你刚修了嘛，说他去在刚修的，去没去你来参加的的，แต่嘛都咱就做这些呢，地方俺不看过多啊，사원 템이 주이나 그 맨잡지 제나마도 렘상 양 그 단스 니체나마도 양 주볼을 내용 것도 와 왔다 되게 되는데가 주연라 gelden 간슈다 추미추니라 다 게지게다 맞은 되고래 보다 또 수제네 가제 추디 시부지께 전부 차대요라 보다 근데 주제지 윤도 불도나 솔지톱도나 야버레스 아니다 때 주고들라 갈란라게 당념 제네 멘데사게는 디컵도들라 멘데사나 디고레스 송도스 보다 때 인디갈랑아 좀 멘데셰 멘데데 주고 디차르소나 아니 멘데코 zu르디지 샤인상 갑디셰 먹어지나스
8 qualities of good water. Usually, these qualities are considered as, qualities that we find in fresh water coming from Snow Mountain, and also water from natural spring. Other than that, it's hard to find these kind of qualifications, such as water, muddy water, or underneath the ground. It has to go through kind of process of purification. And these 8 qualifications are listed as, started with cool, refreshing, sweet, tasty, 4 smooth, 5 clear, 6 free of any bad odor, 7 soothing to throat to drink, 8 harmless to stomach to drink, and so consider as these kind of qualities for offering water, and here also comes the practice of offering for this part, Guru Yoga practice, practitioners who want to engage in offering mandala, and this is a section where practitioners does the offering of mandala, and for the mandala explanation, which I said we will do after finishing, this short text.
我的都是大的我了想把这那个嘞，下边拉起，大这个呢，就我是什么，刚才托米对你撒把意思多，刚才 토마 메베티니 다 맞아 디바산데긴 와다 아니 사지고 고데 류가 이숨기 원에 미고가 가네치 사바데 티샤고 거래 아니다 랍중존이신지 랍도 마주나야 담자찌we 왕기 아니 녀바치 용거래 개발 돈바스니 미든 초 시도와 돈바 땅 갈데긴 쟁갈 제바당 갈와 세거래 배나 김바이나 아니 소tar기 술지면안에 다 미그 주분 술음 예여와 오다 되기디 아니 이제 다정게네 덴디게 돈바당 갈데긴 엔 장주세베 돈바당 갈데긴 상하기 돈바당 갈데긴 되게 김바당 랍중 투모차 랍중이 나다티 때강 투모만 봐 랍중에네 배 리줄다 갈롱게 돈바테기 용고하래 다 디 어다 제바당 라진기 카나 마토이니 디바데당 제왕기 디바니라 개발 가려잖아 라진기 카나 마디바데 켈람멜람 요마레 지리 최 켈레나 말레나 수지 제바이나 디에네 베 제나 아니 치 동알 중에야지 유진 누구야나 이 라진기 카나 마토에 디바레 니바레 견 어다 집에 가나 마토하지 지 켈랭을 마도 케밀렌데 요마레 말한소 다 gemde zomba 켈랭인지나 gemde 아니베 랍자당 갈송이나 니바이 모아레 디 제왕기 니바 차바레 와당 맞소선지나 팀니가 간주 땡이 당갈네 가요로지 당갈나 제왕기 니바 차거레 와다 장생기 좀바 켈랭이나 지버지잖아 상하기 좀 받아 켈랭이 지버지기나 된디나 제왕 차거 와다 되게 와다 닝구 리피팅네 마 샤긴 제티 성수 배 샤긴스 와다 샤바 지루들라 님부터 비고네 샤바 제고 고아레스 수고아레스
Next, number 5th in the 7-limb practice, confession or purification. Whatever unwholesome actions committed by body, speech, and mind I have accumulated since beginningless time, especially transgressions of the 3 types of vows, with strong, heartfelt regret I confess each and every one. So in this one verse, you see, timing, or duration, or period,
디 토마 메버세고
in which you have created negative activities for purification or confession, and it says, since beginningless time, and the way you created those negative activities or non-virtuous activities, body, speech, and mind, through those, and so here, it comes the, of course, for fully ordained monks and nuns, for those who have vows, then if you have transgressed your vows, then you, make this confession. But for lay people too, lay people with the with the vows of 10 negative activities, maybe 12 hours, 1-day vow, or maybe vows of bodhisattvas, or vows of Vajrayana. Lay people can have all these kind of vows, and then can make this confession or purification practice. And here we generally talk about 2 types of non-virtuous activity. First being kind of more natural, natural negative activities. Natural refers to negative activities that yield negative result, regardless of whether you have any commitments, vows, or not. Negative activities that ends in bringing a suffering is negative activity, whether you have vows or not. And then second is more kind of constructed, negative activities. Negative activities, rising from transgressing constructed, vows or commitments. And this happens with somebody with, fully ordained monks and nuns, and who have received maybe refuge vows. And for Geshe-la himself, was, fully ordained monks, they are like 252 vows and commitments that needs to maintain. So transgressing any of those becomes, for that confession or purification practice has to be done. And same thing with, if you have a bodhisattva vow or tantric vow. And how can you purify this practice? Then, as many of you know, the applications of 4 powerful antidotes.
오다 님부 톱지 세대다 문에 깨침보래 톱스는 니바단된 바지 그거와 제바데 삐다 보지 원이 지고 와 어다들이 다 님부 톱지지데 아니 땡기서 니바달라서 님부군인 쪽에서 아니 아 진짜 미제베 domsam세 니바달라서 님부군인 쪽에서 땡기서 지가로 남바순징도 오다 디지들이 디인디가라 남바스타 땡기도 없으되 지단이 구승두된 때도 오니 조숨돼서 땡기도 없래 이나양 람림나라 디나 세보도 이나양 땡기도 없으되 쪼쪼 아니 겸스름겠니 답에 땡기도 없으야 딜라 과첨부여리 세대 겸진 남바니다 땡겨다 보니 여름지 양명도 숨도와 결선이 나바달라 니베 살렛 결사 코나 살렛 때는 야랑 거레스 어다 맞아 딕바 사사대야 몽베 왕기 초숨기 거렌 권 근딩기 거 권초고 거 추기 거 데네 왕기 니베 겜루제베 왕기 초숨 권조라 사베 디바데기 에니 겜루제니 다야 마 심진라 펜토야라 맞아 심진라 가족 냐면 슈쇼 심진라 빼 세와지기 와래 들려서니 심견이 아니 심진이 된지 아니 빼 심게티기 아니 빼 심진 마 심진을 메베 아니 세와된 dombe 아니 빼 디파다 다야 와다 텐디치네 아니 빼 레이즈는 숨도 시위진 삼단계 어때 문에 직 누아 용도와 어다 땡두가라 겸로 셈게테 땡기도블라 또 겸로 셈게니 시작을 숨 레즈 숨도 어다디 디나세보도 디 로로제단 그냥 문에 야부도
딜로도 갈라기 실람네 남들라자
남들 남들라잖아 세보도 세가도와
four antidotes or 4 powerful forces, beginning with force of reliance or basis, and then second force of overcoming misdeeds through antidotes, third force of repentance or remorse or regret, and fourth force of not repeating the misdeeds. The reason why it is called force is because this becomes a power when you apply correctly. Usually when we say force of reliance or force of basis, it can refer to relying upon like a statue, images of the Buddhas or scriptures. But more importantly, in the Lamrim text, the one that we studied before, liberation in the palm of your hands, and also kind of explained by His Holiness and his 2 teachers, force of reliance primarily refers to practice of refuge and altruistic mind in the bodhicitta, these 2. And we use this common expression: when you fall on the ground, and when you get up, you need to use the same ground to get up. So in terms of negative activities that we created, there's really kind of two fields on which we created. One is related with what we call higher or up, 3 objects of refuge and higher beings, and the another is sentient beings, lower sentient beings that we harmed or we, all kind of with, negative activities. So in order to kind of purify your negative activities, you need to be responding in a very positive way to those same two fields on which you have, kind of created negative activities. So therefore, refuge practice for higher or spiritual beings, and then generation of altruistic mind, awakening mind, to benefit, other sentient beings. So these are very clearly explained in the Liberation in the Palm of Your Hand textbook.
Kimru namsa jiyonla kimru gyu tsang wogwa kimru gyu mena kimru gyu le kya khabore kimru gyu la makina nangbe ko la tsuya khabore tindila kimru gyu de karago ware khorwa tangan songi duale jishin traba shi wara jita deli kyobi ni bade suyore konjo sumla khorwa le tande ge enibe sangi chomdende enibe ngolam gidi beni chukonjo ani ti kyaptu bel dato ani sato gi chanju seba sonyu ngusum to tobai na kaza chi na ani pabe gendin chagore oda lebe gendin na jitaji sona mado kaza tela kaza zego mado gendin si gomra jitaji sona gendin chagore ti kyaptu bel dato dus chagore oda tin kyaptu bel oda chi koranga sunsun jita te dan kyobini ba konjo sumla yobe ichebe tebatengi tak ngasung karso kemru gyure se sungo ares tisa telam begwa de kechimore tena ngamam shuju kita kemru rangule keyong ye chago ares.
For refuge practice, to have a genuine, good refuge practice, it is important to understand the very course of refuge practice, and that is twofold here. First one is, in one word we can say a sense of fearness. Looking at the suffering and the nature of cyclic existence, you have this feeling that feeling of scaredness and fearness that I don't want to experience this kind of experiences. And with that kind of sense of fear or not wanting to have that kind of experience, you try to free yourself, and when freeing yourself, you look up to somebody who is already freed from that kind of cycle of existence. And for that comes three objects of refuge: enlightened being, and his teaching. Ultimately, this true cessation and true path. And then third object of refuge, Sangha. If one individual having a understanding of emptiness, then that one individual is enough to call Sangha member. But for practitioners on the path, usually has to have 4 individuals in order to be considered as a Sangha member in a very strict, narrow sense. So therefore, one must have these 2 courses in order to have a true refuge. And true cause, we said before, a sense of fear, and then wanting to free from that kind of cycle of suffering, and then kind of taking a refuge in 3 objects with faith and trust. So first is fearness, and second is faith or trust or confidence in these 3 objects of refuge. And having those 2 is something that needs to be kind of developed in order to have a genuine refuge in yourself.
Wata tini digala kemro namta ji gule kebayina so nangpa chagore wata ngone kemro nalma ji gule keyon digala ta ngone ani sangi kopangla nyewa singde tini lebyon gores kemro pain gendwa sangi kopangla nyewa se ta ngone ngam shushugi korwale nepe kyonji tane ani dilan jitaji kiyong dugala kepchun sade korwal daldegin ani kroye sangi papa nyajile sola te guware kong sunshabe chekonjo nyamsu lembal tene ani golamni rangule gule kiyong guware di rangule kebal tene susi ani be 직 대책 비교에 상교 건조 두야라 니선로와 제가 주 건조데 멘타부르세과데 딱 깨문에데 추건조를 시야대 유전 때 두고 와래. 뭐 추건조대 멘터브리즈 숨도와. 맨데잖아 이 나진지 빨리 겹두고 와라. 맨데 마자는 맨데 조세깔 자샤는 나진지 빨리 겹두고 와라. 냠nen지는 골음이 끓릭 맞게 버도 냠nen지고 와래. 베서주고 와래. 고 람냠술라니 고파세테 지 땅분이 맨데긴가 자시고 말해. 간지 뉴몽 요아데 땅 매바스베 차지라 고파시 오래. 디 동인도베 루이 툴이 온 거로 마다 생여요 말해. 동인 무슨도 다나 라유 예산지 머리 빨는 거. 머리 빠 순중도 거래. 가제 머리 빠다 동인도베 로니 미빠치레미는 지당 무슨 갈베 로레 디와래. 동인도베 로데 라싱이 마투바 짐바니 덴버 메바 타베 로치 차디와래. 진진데 잔지 머리 빠데 덴버 투바 텐진길로 차디와래. 디메 텐진길로데 메송데 자메토비 동인도베 셔럽 차디와래. 또 수인데가 디기다 원인 유모메아서 근데 동인도베 로 냐지 인상 동인도베 로데 귤릭 깨고와 떼깨발라 아니 랑 유길 담발라 아니 람 냠스말라 요요 말 오다 띠인두갈라 고람 고바데 단 람덴딩이 깨모네레 세시오레 오다 좀된데 다다 케바 암치 케발다 부디 차리오레 냠뇽 토니 암치 케바 gem바지나 수수 냠뇽 토니 네치 간디지나 쳇두고와 오다 떼존이진데 좀된디오레 코나 코로나 코네 네베 직 주고에네 베 냠냠는 람게비 생인테 냠는지 네 상기되긴 자리요레 딘다베 따바이 네베 사분사보다 나랑도 강래 감대식 님보선디 여여레 자리요레 와다 괜는 건저데 겹두벨 다로 자리요레 이 시분네 전부 작아도 와다 똑수레 어때 디디 인디가라 지대기 가서 베 반시 쳐봐 불리겠네네 본조숨 디리 오늘 겹숨데 상기 파파이나 디 귤레 최권자 요래 골람니가 요래 에는 코난 근둥 권자래 에는 상기 권자래 갈바 인고에 요마래 다 유타데 보험잖아 가가 차와래 어디 또 되죠야 ken과데 내지레스
somebody having that kind of course of refuge is then considered as a genuine Buddhist practitioner. And once you have generated or attained a refuge, then as many of you know, there are like 8 different benefits of taking a refuge, such as one is kind of now you sort of open doors to attaining, enlightenment. Now, from that time onwards, you are always kind of going closer and closer to it, attaining of enlightenment. And because of this kind of spontaneous feeling of not wanting to suffer anymore in cyclic existence, that really kind of pushes you towards kind of enlightenment, engaging in more positive activities. And you rely upon teachings by Buddha, and then ultimately kind of engage in Buddhist teaching, Dharma, which is true cessation and true path. And when you attain these two within your mind stream, then you yourself become refuge or protector of yourself, what we call resultant refuge. So now you have a protector within yourself. You can protect yourself. So that's the reason why in metaphor we use teaching as in medicine. Buddha is like an expert, well experienced doctor, physician, and Buddha went through cyclic existence, suffered just like ordinary people. Then he relied upon spiritual teacher, went through all process of practice purification, and eventually he attained enlightenment. And so now he is like a expert physician who shows us a path, that is his teaching. And the teaching, the one that truly benefits us, is his teaching. and so therefore use example of medicine. Keeping medicine in front of your table doesn't help. It doesn't cure your illness. You need to take it. Because of taking medicine and medicine going inside your body, then it heals your illness. Exactly like that, when you develop true cessation and true path in your mind, that makes your suffering come to end. So therefore true cessation, true path, this is the one that destroy your suffering and origin of suffering. So again here, ultimately it comes to understanding of emptiness. Emptiness on one hand and ignorance on the other hand, both have a common object of observation or target, but completely two different contradictory way of looking at the same thing. And so ultimately or eventually, understanding of emptiness is the one that eliminates the root of suffering. So therefore here comes the you can see the importance of three objects of refuge. What is a Buddha? He is an expert teacher. What is Dharma? Medicine, and Dharma is the ultimate protector. And but all of these three are mutually not kind of contradictory. In fully enlightened person, that individual can be all three. He or she could be in Buddha, Sangha, as well as Dharma, but with a different kind of consciousness of different individual, then we can kind of separate these three as two separate different entities.
와도 두스레 딘디가라다 뭐니 겸도 생분 내 전부 잡아래 딘디가라 나랑서 겸도 남다지 줄에 깨와라 겸디 규단을 댐바시 거야 어도 다디 개첨벌이 디 왕기 아니 겸도 남다지나 아니 미드 마이마이 노발 라서바 한신이 캐두고 와래 어도 두스지 찍찍 다 샘게데 개첨부지 작업을 샘게 반에 젠든지 양다서베 장준도에 세수도 샘게 센데 젠든 매매 런루비요 용야기 다 레켜버진 차디요래 오늘 젠든 랍좀부지야기 로지래 이 용사데 이 자와 니진도에서 오다 니지 두고 와래 오다 니지 미남께한테 시주고 나랑도 레당보가 있나 니지 미남께한테 시부지 개첨벌이 오다 대인도가라 아니 오다 젠든 세야 돼. 젠든이 젠규기 냥대인라 세도가. 젠규기 냥대 세대 냥대 세대 아니 과 디트도 냥한데 에 녀몽을 지네. 디 타싱야지. 디 탈레가와 디 메아즈와지. 오다 타네 세단 주차당세대. 당부 타 제비 챌린지야지. 당보는 주비 챌린지야. 타데 파저 수저 니가라 타데 주고 가르데 단다디 뇽몽 제베 제 챌린지 주고 가라스 냥데 세야데 냥데 세야다 오다 두수도 오다 제자 젠덴세네 징기 냥데인라 세지가라 징기 둥알레 껴ም드길로 둥알게 에베 타메어서에게 삼로지라 오다 디 제베 차지라 젠덴 세 오고 가레세 숭도 오다 띵도가라 다 샘게싱데 오늘 대바치면 주고래 다 디이 아니 람림 가담베게 시티즈기 아니 샘게 냠린치니 초간 디가 조그리스 아니베 디바 디기 제기르스 숭도 오다 띵도가라 오늘 즉 샘게데 시부지 야 디차바레 이거 샘게데 이 폰도 주주치니 아니 땡기 톱즈 샤와야데 오다 디바세 니바 조 땡이라 두 용구야 인사 아니 겸도스님께 땡기 톱 세디 샤와야데 오다 땡데 유전 땡데
having a genuine refuge practice has as said before many benefits. When you have a genuine refuge practice, one benefit is not kind of exposed to harm by any other humans and non-human as beings. And to have a genuine refuge practice, you must have that those two mentioned causes. The another important part of this force of reliance or basis is altruistic mind or bodhicitta. And bodhicitta, in definition, it says, for the sake of benefiting others, generating awakening mind. And altruistic mind is really kind of directed towards benefiting other sentient beings. And the root of that altruism is, as you know, compassionate thought. And so therefore, kind of at the beginning stage, it is important to engage as much as one can in kind of reflecting, contemplating on the meditation of compassion, visualization of compassion. And altruism is also considered as the entrance or door to, greater vehicle. And benefiting others is really nothing other than, freeing others from suffering, if we have this word nirvana, Tibetan word nyang there, which is made up of two syllables. The first one is nyang, means kind of suffering from afflictions, and there means beyond, going beyond suffering or end of suffering. Two meaning, but here it refers to going beyond suffering, freedom from suffering, liberation from suffering. And in the words of expressions of great Kadamba masters, they're saying that altruistic mind, bodhicitta alone, is enough for accumulations of positive merits and also for purification practices. And so therefore you can see here the importance of under force of reliance or basis, the two primary kind of practices for the practice of purification. Using force of reliance, it's the using of refuge practice and altruistic mind.